All right, guys. Monday, April 24th. It is the MMAOB Daily Podcast, Part 2, Marcel. We're going to be previewing UFC Vegas 72. Appreciate you guys joining us today. As always, we love having you guys in the chat, talking about the fights. And the recap was good, Marcel, for UFC Vegas 71. But I am looking forward to talking about this card with you. UFC Vegas 72, Song versus Simone. And I think there's, 12 fights, Marcel? Is that correct?
12 fights, I think. Yeah.
I just want to ask you quickly, the Cody Durden, Charles Johnson, was he joking when he saw on Twitter that there's like some news about the fight? Cody Durden, you saw the tweet, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything else.
I think he's joking, right? Like, it was
possible.
I hope the fight stays on. Anyways, he was joking about USADA because Johnson had a test, but I mean, Johnson gets tested all the time, so I'm pretty sure he'll be fine. Anyways, overall, Marcel, what's your thoughts on this card?
Not amazing, to be really honest. We already got like pretty much. I like the main. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like the main event, but it's actually the co-main event of last week.
Yeah.
So they bumped that one up. It's not like the most high level, high end card, I think. But can be some fun matchups on it. So we'll see.
For sure. Like I said, I think we got 12 fights on here, and they just added one. Josh Quinlan's fighting Trey Waters. That's official, right? That one.
Yeah, I broke that actually. Yeah,
you did. Okay, nice. That's like it's on UFC stats now, so that is an official fight. Trey Waters is like 6'5" for welterweight. It's pretty nuts, actually. He just won the LFA title a few weeks ago. He got a nice knockout win, so should be a good fight. All right, we got some comments quickly, guys. We'll take them. We got Knox in the chat. What's up, man? Want to talk about Hailey Cowan? We'll talk about her in a sec. And then Antoine, what's up, man? Always appreciate your support, my friend. Marcel, you retweeted it, by the way. Just want to double check with you.
I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You're good. All right, thank you, man. All right, let's get into the first fight then, guys. Alrighty, let's pull up UFC stats. First fight, we got, just like I mentioned in the chat, Hailey Cowan taking on Jamey Lyn-Horth, the Canadian, Marcel making her UFC debut. The odds for this fight are pick'em right now. So it's minus 110 each. And it looks like more money's coming on Horth because she opened as a dog at plus 175. So a lot of money coming in her. Can I start in this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've heard of her because she is Canadian, right? So I've heard of her, Marcel. I know she was in LFA, but like I hadn't really watched her fight. I'll be honest, right? So I was like, all right, Cowan's not bad. And anyways, the point is like, at first I'm like, okay, Cowan could just grind it out. I have to see this girl fight, dude. I mean, I think she's pretty impressive, honestly. She's 33, so she's not like super young, but like she's looked good in her 5 fights. It's only 5 fights, but she's looked good. Really good wrestling, a lot of good, really good cardio, durability, striking. Like she looks good to me, man. I think the competition's been like decent, not amazing. She does actually have 2 wins over Lupe Godinez as an amateur, so that's kind of interesting. But like she looked really good to me on tape, dude. I was really impressed. Like, and I hadn't watched her fight. Then again, I'm watching Cowan. I remember her last couple of fights, and obviously, good athlete. We know that. Pretty good grappler. Not amazing, but good. Strong, right? That's basically her strength is being strong. But like, I went and watched her fights back, and like, dude, I am questioning her ground game. I think she can get put on her back, And Horth, I think will put her on her back in this fight. And honestly, Marcel, both times Cowan's lost in MMA, it's by submission. I'm going to take an upset here. Not an upset because she's actually the favorite now, or it's like pick 'em. I'm going to go with a submission win instead of a decision because I think a lot of people will say a decision here. I'm taking her by submission, man. Plus 400. That's my pick here, Marcel. I think she submits her, dude, in like the 2nd or 3rd round. That's my pick. What do you think?
So yeah, every time I hear the name Hailey, I have to think about Eminem's daughter. Hailey Cowan. She got a contract at Dana White Contender Series. I don't think it was that impressive, but whatever. She got it. Jamey Lyn-Horth, I actually really like her, dude. I'm with you, man, in this one. I think Jamey Lyn-Horth wins, and I also have her by submission, but I'm going 1st or 2nd round.
I think that's worth a shot, guys. Plus 400. I really hope it hits because I think it's worth a shot. I feel strongly about her here, man. I really liked what I saw. If she loses, she loses. It's a pick 'em fight, right? So on the odds, but I was impressed with what I saw on the tape. Better than I thought. And I think Cowan's beatable, And honestly, I watched back her Contender fight, Marcel. It wasn't impressive. It wasn't. And Dana White's like, I'm not sure what it is about her that I want to sign her. Like, we all know.
I know what it was. I know what it was.
Her performance in that fight. I mean, she's a decent fighter.
Yeah.
She's like borderline UFC level, right? But I think Horth, she's 33, so she's going to have to make a not necessarily run because you have Sarah McMahon fighting for her too, although she's an Olympic athlete. The point is, like, she's a pretty good prospect despite being 33. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. All right, get some comments here. Ain't that bad of a card? Yeah, I think it's decent. I mean, I think so. I know Marcel would disagree, but we'll see. A lot of guys, Hailey might be worse than Brogan Walker. I don't know. I mean, but I don't think she's great. I think I was picking her to win. Was it against Perez, Eileen Perez? Was that the fight, or was there another fight too? Hailey Cowan. They got canceled.
Oh yeah, she was supposed to fight.
That fight, I think she could have won.
And Tamiris Vidal.
That one, she probably would have got knocked out in that fight. That other girl's really good, but yeah. I was going to pick her in the last fight, and then I feel like she kind of got, I don't want to say screwed with the rebooking because it's still a winnable fight, obviously, but I think she loses. Anyways, I think that's enough about this fight. But yeah, George likes her, and he thinks that he can put her in Vancouver. Maybe. That card's pretty full, though, man. They're going to have to do like another card in Canada really soon, Marcel, because I feel like that card's full. They got to do one in Toronto later this year, but probably with them. I'm jealous, though, because I live there, right? All right, let's go to the next fight, guys. Brian Kelleher taking on Journey Newson. And odds are minus 175 for Boom and plus 145 for Journey Newsom. Actually, I want to hear your thoughts on this one, Marcel. Go ahead. Let me hear you.
So we have Brian Boom Kelleher against Journey Newson. Brian Kelleher, I mean, yeah, he lost his last two fights, both with rear naked chokes, but against good competition against Umar Nurmagomedov and against Mario Bautista. Let's be honest, man. The losses Brian Kelleher has in the UFC are all not bad losses, in my opinion, all against quality opponents. He pretty much won against everybody he should win against. He's fighting Journey Newson. Journey Newson had a good performance against Fernie Garcia, but then he lost to Sergey Morozov. The thing is, is Kelleher still on that, how do you say that? Can he still get to that level he was before, Because if he can get to the level he was before, I think he wins against Newson, But, man, it's difficult, because I think Newson is getting better, although he lost in his last fight, yeah, but I think he's getting better. Still picking Kelleher here. I'm picking him with a decision.
It's kind of a tricky one, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tricky because Kelleher really hasn't looked great lately. And again, he's a tough dude. He comes to bang and stuff, but the wins he has, I don't think he has to win over. He beat Ode Osborne. That's his only UFC win, I want to say, of guys that are still in the octagon. So he's beating guys that are borderline UFC basically. He's definitely a good grappler and everything. I don't know, but it's not a great grappler, Marcel, and his striking is good, but it's not great. I'm not saying Journey Newsom is special either. I mean, he's not looked good either in the UFC for the most part. But after coming back from that layoff, Marcel, he did look pretty good against Fernie Garcia, and then had a pretty competitive fight with Morozov. And I kind of rate Morozov as a better wrestler than Kelleher as far as forcing takedowns and stuff. And I know that obviously got taken down. That's why he lost the fight. But it was a competitive fight too. It was 29-20 in the scorecard. So I don't know, Marcel. I'm kind of looking at Journey as a dog here a little bit. I don't know. Brian Kelleher hasn't been doing it for me lately. I think he's beatable. I kind of feel like it'll be a low-paced striking battle, and I feel like Journey will win the decision. That's my pick. Journey by split decision, I'll say. That's my pick here. You think I'm crazy or?
No, I thought that before already. So no, just kidding.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know what people think about this fight. To me, it's kind of dog or pass. That's what I think, anyways. Again, it's not a super confident dog pick, but I kind of lean towards the dog. I was curious to see what the odds would be. So I've heard Kelleher raps. I haven't heard, but I know he's definitely a. Actually, maybe I have heard it now that I think about it. I think I might have. Yeah, he's pretty good at it, actually, isn't he? I like Kelleher, man. I like him as a person. I just think he's kind of on the decline, Journey's better bet. I hope so, Daniel. What's up, Fight Talk? How's it going, man? Glad to be in chat. All right, Marcel, let's go to the next fight. We got Stephanie Egger taking on Irina Alekseeva. She's called the Russian Ronda. Talk about that in a second here, but the odds for this one, Egger's a huge favorite, minus 300, plus 240 on Irina Alekseeva. Let me start on this one. So, again, didn't know much about her, right? So I watched the fights that are on YouTube. Mm-hmm. One fight, man, she pulled off a nasty armbar, and I guess that's why she has the nickname, right? Because it was a nasty-ass armbar. I don't know. I didn't see the fight in Bellator. I couldn't find it. I looked for it. Maybe you guys have a link. You could send it to me. I couldn't find it, though. So I'd have to see that fight before even betting on this fight. But to me, she looked okay, Marcel. She has this armbar, but I don't know. I didn't think she looked amazing. But again, these fights were from 4 years ago. She could be much improved now. this is a very big wild card on this card, in my opinion, in Irina. I kind of feel like she could win this fight, but I'm not willing to take a risk on it either, because Egger has the experience, but she was armbarred, right? So there could be a weakness there. And maybe that's why the UFC did this fight. You got a girl named Russian Ronda because she has arm bars against Stephanie Egger, who got armbarred 2 fights ago. I still think Egger, I would have to pick her because of the experience and overall, like, she's obviously a good judoka and everything. But I feel like this is, it could be dog or I'm staying away from it. I think there's a chance that dog could upset just because, again, this girl is like so unknown and there's not much footage on her out there and she hasn't fought in forever. So that's my thoughts, Marcel. I don't know. What do you think about, did you watch her fights? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty much like Leon always says, don't bet on women fights. It's such a difficult one, this one, because
Yep.
they don't really know, I don't know too much about Irina Alekseeva to say she's gonna win. It's like that. Then I really have to go off what I saw from her. I'm not convinced. Also, the opponents aren't that high level that Egger has fought. You know what I mean? So I'm picking Egger. Just going with a decision win here. I don't know. I mean, big.
Not submission.
No, I'm going with a decision. It's like a big question mark for me.
To me, yeah, it's a weird fight. Yeah, most of Egger's wins are by stoppage, so maybe that's the way to go. But again, like, I could see Irina pulling it off too. I really could. So I'll stay away from it, man. There's like, what I say, 12 fights on this card. Like, you don't have to bet on every one of them. This one's I'm staying away from. I kind of feel like Egger's going to win, but at the same time, minus 300, no thanks. All right, we'll go to the next fight here, Marcel. We got short notice fight between Josh Quinlan and taking on Trey Waters. And Josh Quinlan is favored. They opened the line today, actually. Quinlan's favored, minus 150, plus 130 Trey Waters. Trey Waters, mentioned earlier, just won the LFA title. He's a huge welterweight guy. He's 6'5", and that's mass. I'm pretty sure he's the tallest guy in the division, if I had to guess. Pretty sure that's the fact. 6'5", 77-inch reach, which is long as well. And like I said, coming off the LFA win, he wasn't a contender. He lost to Gabriel Bonfim, but that guy is really fucking good. So
yeah,
that's the thing, right? And Quinlan, obviously a contender series veteran. He won his fight by knockout, and then he got tested positive. And then after the suspension, came back and then knocked out Jason Witt, who's obviously got a bad chin. So, I mean, the guys look good too, though. And all his wins are by knockout, right? So he's definitely dangerous or submission. So he's super dangerous, man. Trey Waters, again, UFC debut, short notice, but did fight 2 weeks ago. I don't know, man. This is it's an interesting fight. I definitely feel like this fight's any side of the distance. I'll say that right now. We don't have odds on that, but I don't see the fight going in 3 rounds. I'll take Josh Quinlan by knockout, but I mean, Trey Waters looks like a good prospect too. What do you think, man?
I agree with all you said. I really like Josh Quinlan as well. I also picking him by knockout. The thing is, Trey Waters, I think he's a fun fighter, but the thing is, it's like a short notice fight, and Josh Quinlan is a really dangerous guy, in my opinion, Yeah, also picking Josh Quinlan here. I think he stops him. I was impressed with Josh Quinlan's last fight. And also the way, man, he knocked him out and he held back after that knockout. I thought that was really nice. I remember that. Yeah, I'm picking Quinlan. I probably also picked him against Lusa. So, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good fight because Lusa's tough as hell. So,
true.
Yeah, Glenn, the fight's at 170, right, Marcel? This fight?
This 170, yeah. Yeah, he says ESPN last time had like some fights. They had Ribeiro against Holmes listed at 205. They had another one. What's that? And Zetchuku against Clark listed at 265, and they have all changed. It's now 185. So yeah, it's not true. It's at welterweight.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to the next fight here. We have Cody Durden taking on Charles Johnson, and the flyweight division should be a good fight. Two guys that are talking about shit to each other right now on Twitter. Odds for this from Marcel. We got Charles Johnson, Inter G minus 165. Cody Durden plus 140. Go ahead, man. Take it away.
I think it's an amazing fight. I think should have been on the main card, in my opinion. Cody Durden. I really like Cody Durden, man. I don't really care what everybody else says. Everybody hates him because of that one comment. I think he's a good fighter. I really enjoy watching his fights. I know he got pretty much finished quick by both Mokaev and Flick, but he did really well against Orochi Lang, against JP Boyce, and against Carlos Moda. The Orochi Lang was pretty close, that fight. I remember that one as well. And he had that real draw, right, against Chris Gutierrez in his debut, where he got a 10-8 in the first round by being on his back the whole damn time. So, Durden is a good fighter, in my opinion. Charles Johnson, yeah, I like him as well. I think he had one of the best fights of 2022, in the LFA for the title against Carlos Moda. Came to UFC, got out wrestled by Muhammad Mokaev. To be really honest, I think he lost to Zalga Sumagulov after that one. He got a good win over Jimmy Flick, but Jimmy Flick didn't look great in that fight at all. Close fight, this one. I think it goes to decision. I'm picking Cody Durden to win.
There you go with the underdog pick here, Big Marcel. So both picked the dog Marcel in the first 4 fights, so that's interesting. I think it's going to decision. You picked decision, right? So
yeah.
I'm gonna see if there's odds up for that. There should be. I think this fight goes the distance. Yeah, minus 210. That's not bad, to be honest with you. Like, I just don't see a finish in this fight, guys. Like, I just see these two like being matched up pretty evenly, and it's gonna be like a lot of good like transitions and reversals. I think when there's wrestling sequences, like there's going to be a lot of good striking exchanges, and then I think you'll see some like them pushing each other against the fence at times as well. Just going to be a good MMA fight. I think it's a really good fight. I'm going to pick Charles Johnson, Marcel. I've been a little bit more impressed with him, despite I know his record's not amazing right now in the UFC, and a lot of these fights are too close for comfort. It's 2-2, I should say, but really, like, I don't think he beat Joggis. I don't think many people did, right? So, but yeah, I mean, he's just proven to me he's tough and goes to 3 rounds, and he's fighting often, right? He's fought twice this year already. I like that. He's actually fought 3 times in the last 6 months. I like that. I do like that, Marcel. Whereas Durden, he was actually active last year with three fights, but again, since the last time he fought, Johnson's fought 3 times, and that to me is an advantage in this fight, Marcel. I think he's going to look good. I think it'll be a close fight, but I think he wins the decision. Maybe split, but I think he wins. So that's my pick. All right, Marcel, we'll go to the next fight here. We got Natan Levy taking on Pete Rodriguez. Dead game. It should be an interesting fight, I think. Odds for this one, Natan Levy is one of the bigger favorites on the card, minus 275, and plus 225 on Pete Rodriguez. Who's your pick?
Yeah, Natan going to take this fight to the ground, I think, and I think he controls there probably. If not, he has a chance to get knocked out by Pete Rodriguez because he has heavy hands, in my opinion. But I'm picking Natan Levy here by decision. I'm not going to say anything more. I think he takes him down and he controls him probably 3 rounds.
I only smile because like that's what I would have said, But I actually think he finishes the fight. I'm going to take him by finish this time because I just don't think Rodriguez, from what I've seen, is like a guy that's going to have great cardio. And he has, I think it was as an amateur, he lost by submission by rear naked choke. That's kind of what I see happening here. That's how Levy got signed to the UFC. And I'm looking at Levy's stats. Like, the amount of takedowns he's getting is ridiculous. Like, he's going to take him down if he doesn't get knocked out, like you said, right? I think he's a pretty decent fighter, good grappler, and he's going to control this fight. But I think later in the fight, second, third round submission, that's my pick. So for you, decision plus 235. Me, submission is actually favored at plus 175. Here's me trying to be smart, Marcel, where the odds actually have decision ranked a little bit better odds. Or, yeah, you get more plus money. Is that what you're trying to say? But yeah, I think we both like the same guy here. He is one of my, to me, he's one of my stronger picks in the card. I don't see him getting finished in this fight by Rodriguez. That would be his win condition, knock him out. But I think Levy's just a better fighter, and I think you agree with me, right? So
yeah.
Pete should be the fave after being the GOAT Mike Jackson. Probably not. Mike Jackson's not in the UFC anymore. Does Pete survive in the UFC much longer? He's had kind of tough fights, though. He fought Jack Della Maddalena. I mean, that's a fucking hard fight. And now he's fighting Todd Levy, who's good, too. So, like, he'll get his 4th fight. That'd be his 4th fight in this deal. His next fight, he'll be fighting for his contract, right? But the thing is, like, he didn't get signed with much experience in the UFC, Marcel, if you think about it, right? Like, he had, 3 fights? I think he was 3-0.
Yeah, sort of. 3 or 4, one of them.
Again, as an amateur, he had a decent amount of experience, but he lost by submission one of those fights. The other thing I was going to check really quick, Natan Levy also, I mean, he's only got 9 fights. So he had 6 when he got signed to the UFC. So, but I think he's looked pretty good. Now, again, Marcel, to be fair, kind of feel like his level of competition hasn't been great either, to be fair.
Right.
But I just think the wrestling will get it done. Anyways, he's one of my stronger picks personally. All right, we'll go to the next fight here, guys. We got Marcel's favorite. Thank God they didn't put it in the main card. Marcel, you know they wanted to. But Martin Buday takes on Jay Collier. UFC heavyweight fight. Odds for this one, Martin Buday. Oh, it's a pick'em, -110. That's interesting. Buday opened at he only opened at -120. Okay, that's interesting. Because I don't know what you're thinking, Marcel, but I'm picking Buday. I'm picking Buday. Buday. It's not. It's like the toilet thing, right?
Let's just hope Michael Bisping is on the call. That day.
Buday. Sorry, guys. I think I'm picking him to win. I mean, listen, he hasn't really impressed me that much in the UFC, but I can't pick Jay Collier, man. That last fight, jeez. And then even the fights that I thought he won, like Arlovsky or Felipe, they're just so close for comfort, right? Then he's going up another guy and Buday, he actually has so much momentum. That's the thing. That's why I have to pick him, Marcel, because you have a guy that's on 2 straight losses, a guy who's lost 3 of his last 4. And again, he definitely beat Arlovsky, right? Bad decision, but still. And then you have a guy who's on 10-fight win streak. Not to me super impressive, but it's going to be enough to win this fight, I believe. I'm a little surprised he's a pick of odds. Maybe he goes and gets destroyed, and the experience of Jay Collier, prevails or whatever. But I'm picking Martin Buday. I'll take him by shitty decision. Lots of fence pushing. 2 big guys just pushing each other against the fence. A lot of just clinching, and he wins in a split decision. That's what I think happens. What do you think?
Yeah, watch Jay Collier right now going to fight well after that last horrible fight. Yeah, the thing is, you can't pick him after that fight. I agree with you. And Martin Buday hasn't looked really great in the UFC, to be honest. He got that Barnett win after illegally knee him, I think. And then he won against Brzezinski in the fight. I think he did it one. But I'm taking Buday with the decision win. Yeah.
Yeah.
The UFC is just going to put 2 heavyweight fights back to back. I mean,
yeah, for sure. You think it's going to be a good fight, or you think it's going to be not good?
Nah, if this goes to decision, will not be good.
Yeah, that's what I think happens, guys. All right, a couple comments here. John says he can't pick Collier. Me too. Love the MMA podcast with UFC heavyweights Martin Buday and should be Marcel Tybura. I think Buday will crack the heavyweight ranks. I know you're really high on him. You've been talking about him for a while. There was another guy who used to talk about him here. It was asking us about Martin Buday. All right, we'll go to the next fight, Marcel. Another one of Marcel's favorites here. Another heavyweight fight opening up the main card, but I could see this one also not being the most exciting fight. We got Marcos Rogerio de Lima against Waldo Cortes-Acosta, and the odds for this one, Marcel. -165, Marcos Rogerio de Lima. Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Go ahead. Give me your thoughts on this one, man.
Salsa boy against Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, Waldo Cortes-Acosta, he defeated Danilo Suzart, right, in the Contender Series. Got to the UFC. Had that fight with Jared Vandera. It was a really bad fight, to be really honest. He got the win. And then he won against Sherman, where I think he should have knocked him out in that fight, but he didn't, and he got the decision win. Rogerio de Lima is like the super weird guy who cannot, how do you say that, who cannot get into the rankings because then he loses, then he wins, then he loses, then he wins. He won against Arlovsky last time, which was super surprising to me. I didn't expect that at all, to be really honest. Before that, he had that horrible fight with Blago Ivanov. It could have gone both ways. Yeah. I mean, I have to pick Waldo, although I see Rogerio winning this one. This is going to be a close fight again, This is another fucking decision, low tire heavyweight decision here. Waldo Cortes-Acosta by decision, probably split even,
You sure it won't be? I think you might have jinxed it, man. I'm worried now. I think it would be better than the other fight, but I could also see it being a lot of fence clinching and stuff for especially the latter half of the fight. So it's tough, man, for me. I think both the heavyweight fights are kind of tricky, but this one a little bit trickier because Waldo's look pretty good, but again, not much experience, and a guy like Pizarro, a lot of fights in the UFC. I think he's got like 20 fights now. Super inconsistent though, right? Usually win loss. I don't know. Look great against Andre Arlovsky, but I mean Andre loses a lot now. But Boy fight. I mean, he could have won that fight. Had he won that fight, it was pretty close. It could be on a 4-fight win streak. It's interesting. Just so beatable, especially the submission game. But Waldo doesn't most of his wins or losses are by submission. Waldo's not probably going to submit him. I don't think he will. I mean, you never know in MMA, but Waldo's more of a boxer. We know that. really comes down to, I think it comes down to if Marcos Rogerio Lima can make this MMA fight, Marcel, and mix in grappling. Kind of think he will take him down a little bit, push him against the fence. Just, I don't know. I don't think the fight's gonna be that good. I'm taking Rogerio Lima, and you know what? I'll take him by decision. You say knockout or decision? What'd you say?
I said a split decision.
So we both said decision, which is a heavyweight fight. Okay. Fight goes the distance is plus 225. That's interesting. Cortes-Acosta by decision plus 550, and for me, Rogerio by decision plus 400. I mean, those are decent odds, right? I don't really love playing props or whatever because it's MMA. Like a lot of different ways can happen. A lot of different ways to win, but like 4-1 odds in a fight, I think goes the distance. I don't know. I think he wins the decision, but yeah, that'd be the only thing I'd be like more interested in playing here, like a prop like that, rather than making a big splash on the money line. But yeah, I think we both have a kind of a lean there of the fight going over the rounds. Actually, for me, Marcel, I almost wonder, like, I'll take both of them over 1.5 rounds. Both the fights. That'd be interesting too. I think they both go deep. All right, a couple of comments. Your daily helping of heavyweight slop. Oh man, that's funny. Cost staying active. Yeah, he's been fighting a lot, which is nice. Waldo been wanting someone to bang. If then he gets his wish this time. I mean, I think Pizzal's going to try to mix it up with the grappling, man. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. Could be off base. He could get KO'd quickly. He's an older guy, right? He's like 38, I want to say. No, he's 37. He's turning 38. Don't rip the guy off. Half a year of his life. All right, Marcel, let's go to the next fight here. Julian Erosa taking on Fernando Padilla. Good fight here as well. Fun fight. Probably one that, we'll see if it goes the distance or not, but should be exciting for as long as it lasts. And the odds for this one, we got Erosa minus 155, Padilla plus 130. Erosa opened at minus 325. So, yeah, a lot of actions coming initially on the dog here. What do you think, man?
Yeah, the thing is, like with Padilla, he hasn't fought for some time. Last fight was in 2021. I think he had visa issues. Now he can fight. Got signed after looking for a fight, right, on Fury FC. I think he's a decent guy. He's a decent prospect. He's 26. He's still young. Got a loss against Spike Carlisle in his last 5 fights. He won 4. He only lost to Spike Carlisle. And I think it's a big step up, to fight Julian Erosa right now in the UFC. So, Erosa got knocked out by Alex Caceres last time out. But we got to mention, man, he looked really good against Hakeem Dawodu, dude. He looked really good in that fight. And against Peterson, he won a split. I thought it could have gone the other way as well. I got to pick Erosa, dude. I'm not going to take the how do you say that? The bait and picking the guy who's making a debut. I think he's talented, but I got to go Erosa here.
Yeah, this guy is not bad, actually. Like I didn't know much about him. I knew he was a Fury FC champion, but didn't know a lot about him, Marcel. So watched a couple of his fights at Fury FC. They're on Fight Pass. He looked pretty good. He's tough, right? He's got some submission skills, as we saw. He's got a little bit of knockout power. He's kind of like unorthodox, kind of dangerous. And actually has quite a bit of experience too. Almost 20 fights. So I think he's pretty good, man. He's LFA. What's it called? Fury FC, and now he's in the UFC. So he's fought some, former UFC fighters. Like, I think he's decent. I definitely think he's a live dog here because Erosa, although, obviously there's a lot of good things to say about Erosa. I mean, experience, so many fights now, fought so many tough dudes. He's been on a roll for the most part, although he obviously got knocked out in his last fight. That's the problem, right, Marcel? Like, he's been knocked out a bunch of times. Let me count how many losses by knockout. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knockout. That's a lot, Again, a lot of fights, but defensively, he could be touched up, right? So, that Padilla guy is pretty dangerous, man. I think he's a live dog here, guys. Personally, I'm going to take Erosa, Marcel, because I think what will happen is he will be able to survive, and then the cardio and the pace will just kind of break the other guy.
Exactly.
You say a decision or a finish, by the way?
Yeah, decision. That's
what I'm leaning to, actually. So we actually have the same lean a little bit in this fight. But while I say that, I could easily see him getting knocked out again.
Same.
Yeah, exactly. Rosa decision plus 210. Padilla by knockout plus 400. Another, plus 400 prop. Not all these are going to win, but I'm mentioning a couple now that I think are, definitely possible. Erosa by knockout. But yeah, I think Padilla could catch him. I think that would be the way he wins. A couple comments here as well. County Barcelos against Miles Johns. Okay, I didn't know what that fight. Marcel might have. AG fight broken. There you go, Marcel. We need a petition to move these heavyweight fights to the main card. Yeah. No thanks. Well, one of them is the Lima and Cortes-Acosta. But the thing is, Cortes-Acosta is a good prospect, right? Like, and I hope he boxes the shit out of Lima. I just think it's going to be boring and he takes him down and holds against the fence. All right, go to the next fight here, guys. We got Rodolfo Vieira, the black belt hunter, taking on Cody Brundage. Odds for this one, Marcel. Vieira, big favorite, minus 275, plus 220. Cody Brundage, your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I'm taking the dog here, man.
Plus 220.
Yeah, I think like Rodolfo Vieira, he's dangerous, definitely in the first round. And if he can get you to the ground, you saw with Curtis, he didn't get Curtis to the ground, and he was like pretty much not nowhere, in my opinion. And with Cody Brundage, I think Cody Brundage is a pretty decent man on the ground, He got knocked out by Mikhail Alekseeva last time, but it was with punches. I like Brundage here, man. I think I think Brundage can overcome the first round against Vieira. And after that, I think Brundage wins the fight, Will he stop him? Maybe late, but I'll go with the decision for Brundage. I think he definitely wins the second and third round,
Yeah, this one's tough too. I think it's tricky. I think the line's way too high. I would not lay the juice on Vieira in this fight. So basically like what I'm trying to do like lately is like look at the like UFC stats and kind of like gauge the like the odds what they could be before I look at best fight odds. So like this one I really wasn't sure. I'm like I guess I would favor Vieira slightly, just because of his popularity and stuff. But like he's almost minus 300. I don't know about that, Marcel. And it's tempting to take the dog here because Brundage has good upside. He is the younger guy in this fight. Obviously, he's pretty good wrestler. He's made some mistakes and got some power submissions. Still I think defensively irresponsible too a little bit. It's kind of a tough guy to back, but as a dog, it's not a bad bet. I don't think. Vieira just I don't know, Marcel. I can't trust this guy. I do think he looked better on the feet against Curtis, which was good to see. And then obviously his ground game's exceptional, but the cardio still worries me. And I could see this being like the Anthony Hernandez fight, maybe, Marcel, where like he gets submitted late in the fight or something. Or that fight was second round, but you know what I mean? Like after he tires. It's just tough, guys. I think I still have to go with Vieira just because like the elite grappling. Maybe you can catch Brundage in a choke or something, but it's just really hard to trust this dude right now, Marcel. I can't do it. I wouldn't lay minus 300, guys. I definitely feel like Brundage has a chance. I want to pull the trigger on it, but I just can't do it. I'll take the dog. I'll trust the odds, even though I think they're high. Anything you're going to say?
Where did you pick now?
Took Vieira by submission, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, let's look at the odds, too, like the props. Vieira submission's minus 125. So I guess that's the books. Yeah, that's really like the square way of looking at this fight. But like Marcelo is going to be a risky and take the knockout you said?
No, decision.
Oh, decision. Sorry. Plus 600. So some good odds on Brundage by decision if you like him there. I'll take Vieira. Anyways, let's go to the next fight, guys. We got this is the co-main event. Caio Borralho taking on Michael Alekseeva. I actually pronounced it properly for once. There you go. Michael Alekseeva. There we go. Caio Borralho. I think he's the biggest favorite in the card, minus 300. Him and Egger are both the biggest favorites, both minus 300. Taking on Alekseeva plus 240. Marcel, I mean, I just feel like I speak for you. Like Caio Borralho wins this fight, like right?
Well, how do you call him normally, Alekseeva? I forgot the name. What you say?
Alexiak, because there's this hockey player. It's a hockey player, Jamey. Jamey Alexiak, and his sister is like a swimmer, Olympic swimmer. So like that's how they pronounce it. It's kind of spelled similarly, but Alekseeva. I got it right, guys. I actually did it right. Now let's see if Bisping and Felder get it right this weekend, or Cruz or DC. DC won't even try. He'll just call him Michael.
Yeah, did you saw Sodiq Yusuf's?
Didn't see it. No.
He's like, we go to the next fight. Caio Borralho against. I see what you did there, Jan Blachowicz. You didn't even change the flag.
Funny.
So I'm picking Caio Borralho as well, man. I think he takes him down and he controls him there. Decision win for Caio.
He wins, but I'm actually Marcel. I think he can submit him too, because if you look at Alekseeva, both his losses recently are by submission to Crute and St. Preux, right? I know this is at 185. He's probably stronger at this weight class, obviously, but I don't know, man. Unless his win condition to me is a knockout, and I haven't seen anything to suggest that like Borralho, has a bad chin, or even that he won't take the fight, because that's the thing, right? You know he's going to go for a takedown, right? And you know he's got the cardio to do it for 15 minutes. I think this guy's a winner, man. I think he's a good guy to bet on, Marcel, personally.
I agree.
He's won 3-0 in the UFC. He's 5-0 if you count the Contender Series fights. He beat Miradov in his last fight. That is a big win for him. Beat Petrosian. That's a really good striker. Now he takes on Alekseeva, another good striker. Honestly, I don't feel like it's that dissimilar of a fight. Obviously, Alekseeva is crazy power, but I think he gets taken down. I think he can break him with the submission, man. So I'm leaning a sub here a little bit, guys. A decision or sub. If you can get that bet, I would do that. Look at the odds here. Borralho decision plus 200, by submission plus 125. It's actually yeah, that's right. So it's favored. And then if you were risky, plus 475 by Alekseeva knockout. I mean, it's possible. So that'd be the way he wins the fight. All right, guys. Last fight we got here. We got the main event. It is Song Yadong taking on Ricky Simón. And did we talk about this fight last week? I think we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, man. Okay, so we both picked Ricky Simón when it was a co-main event 3-round fight. Do you pick anyone differently? I should say quickly, the odds, minus 120 Simón, plus 100 on the Song.
First round submission.
Oh, you think he submits him the first anyway? So you don't even think the rounds matter? Okay. It is 5 rounds, right? To confirm, it's 5, right?
Yeah, first round submission.
I think it's definitely possible he finishes him. The guy's super dangerous, man. He's looked great lately. I'm picking Ricky Simón here, guys. Like, I just think he's looked like really good lately, and I always liked him. I always thought he was a good prospect. And when he got knocked out by Faber, I remember this because my sister got married. Although now she's well, I don't know what she's doing, but yeah. The point is, she got married that day. Well, I'm saying she's separated, right? But yeah, but back then when it was a nice, happy marriage, that was the same day, and I was like, I got to go home and watch the fight. So I left like a little bit earlier, but the party afterwards. But I had to watch this fight, and that was the same card that Durandamy and Aspen Ladd was on, where that like quick like stoppage happened. So I always remember that, but I just remember being shocked when Faber knocked him out. I was like, what the. Like, that one really surprised me, man. I get it. Like, people are like, Song, his coach's Faber will be there. It's possible. I mean, Song's a good striker. He's a good fighter, man. I like Song Yadong, but I just think Simón's better right now. So, more momentum, I believe, and should be a good fight. I was leaning decision, but maybe you're right with the finish, because he has been finishing guys lately, right? He's kind of like, he's level. Would you say he's leveled up, Ricky?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think so. Many people will still take that fight with Marab, and that's a great win on his record. But I know. But that's such a weird fight, It's a very fun trivia question, because it's like the latest stoppage ever in a third round fight. So.
It is, but the crazy thing is, like, if you look at his first 3 fights, he fought Montel Jackson and beat him. It was a good win, and Ronnie Yair. Like, that's the start of his UFC career. And then he obviously had the 2 losses, but he kind of rebuilt himself slowly, Marcel, and now 5 straight wins. So he's good. I think he wins. Submission is plus, because that's what you said, plus 425. I said I was thinking decision plus 175, but maybe the sharp side is like a sub here or something.
Split submission.
Submission. Couple comments here. Who does 5 rounds favor? I don't know. I mean, I think they both have good cardio. Song didn't really look tired against Corey. Right. It was more that he got cut, right, and couldn't see the referee or the doctor stopped it. And then got a comment here from Joe. What's up? Yeah, look, I think it's possible. I mean, that'd be the way he wins. Song by knockout is just like you said, like, because anyone can get knocked out of the sport, right? We saw that in the Faber fight. Like I said, Marcel, I just remember that day very well, But yeah, I think okay, what are the odds on that? Plus 200. So if you like Song, I mean, that's not a bad way to bet a 2-1 odds too. But maybe just go. I don't know. Since it's a pick 'em, Marcel, just stick to the money line in this kind of situations. I always say there's so many ways to win and lose in MMA. You know what I mean, Marcel? Like, there really is. So yeah, guys, it should. I don't know. I think the card will be better than maybe we think, but we'll have to see what happens Saturday. And like I said, those 2 heavyweight fights, I'm not sure about. So, but again, there's some fights I am looking forward to, like Cortes debut and what else? Quinlan Water should be good. Durden Johnson. The Erosa fight his fights are always good, and then main event's great fight. So I think it'll be a decent card. We'll see what happens. All right, Simón about to knock out Latino off him. I mean, possibly. Craig and Ankalaev. Well, that's the thing is, like, the other fight ended at 5 on the dot. So so it's kind of weird. But it's if you watch that fight, it's weird. I remember when it happened in real time. I'm like, and the weird thing is they called it a TKO even though he submitted him. That's the weird thing. But basically, I know what happened. It's like it's not the submission; it's just the fact that he was unconscious when the bell rang. They called it like a TKO, basically, Marcel. Even though it was like he didn't tap, right? So, but I think he was out, right? Didn't he? He did get choked out, I believe, and then woke back up or something. I think that's what happened.
The thing is, what I saw is like he went for a takedown 45 seconds
Hit
before
his
the
head.
end of the yeah, and that's the moment where
Yeah.
the referee should have stopped the fight, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He continued, and Simone pulled him around, and he had him in that guillotine, right? Marat was like with his legs. He was doing this, and then at the moment Simone let go when the buzzer sound. He was like on this, and the referee said, "Are you good?" And he's like, "I'm good." And he wanted to come up, and then the people of the commission said, "You have to stay down. We have to search you." And then the ref said like TKO by submission or something super weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, it's we're talking about. Simone Caio was on his coach. I know. So again, that's his way to win.
Yeah, but his coach ain't fighting, so
his coach. I wonder if his coach fights again. Maybe Faber will come back for UFC 300. That'd be kind of cool.
possible.
UFC 290. Yeah, it looks great. TKO submission. Yeah, that's funny, right?
Oh,
For what it's worth, his last fight, Buday had the flu. Buday had the flu. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with honestly either of his fights, but I still think he wins this fight. Because Collier, I can't pick him. Oh yeah, JDM and Brady. We didn't talk about that fight, Marcel. Amazing fight. I do favor JDM though.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys look great, and the fact he got a submission over Randy Brown, that's pretty big for me. So, Marcel, you want to get out of here, or
yeah?
But
anything else you want to say? One more thing. Who do you pick between Luke Rockhold and Mike Perry?
Is that this weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Oh. Ooh. I mean, how can you pick Luke Rockhold? How can
in a boxing fight? Right?
No, you can't. You can't. He'll probably get knocked out. I can't. Is there odds for that? No, Chuck.
I have no idea.
I mean, how can you take Luke Rockhold against a striker in a pure boxing match? I don't think this was a good move. I'm assuming they paid him a huge bag, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Mike Perry's like a good bare knuckle fighter. I don't know about Rockhold, man. I really don't. But what else is on that card?
Eddie Alvarez against Chad Mendes.
Oh, that's this weekend? Oh, okay. I don't watch bare knuckle, unless, obviously someone's like, oh, there's this huge fight, so I don't keep up with it. But yeah, I would favor Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah.
How do you not favor Eddie in basically like a street fight almost? Yeah. He's the underground king, dude. I think he went. You think he knocks or finishes him stoppage?
That's possible, definitely. Yeah.
You like bare knuckle or no?
I never watch it, to be really honest.
We watch those fights though.
I don't know. If nothing else is on, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see how the UFC card goes, I guess. But hopefully it's on at the same time as Costa and the Lima.
Do you actually watch boxing? Because that Gervonta Davis
Ryan Garcia fight was. Yeah, I mean, the guy's amazing, right? Like two undefeated guys, you don't see it like that often. Those guys are always trying to protect their records. He was a nasty liver punch. I don't know, man. Like it's like I think he could have continued, but he also knew that he probably was going to lose anyway, so he took a way out in a way because he got up right at the 10-second count. He didn't. It was definitely a brutal body shot though.
Yeah.
The fact it was delayed reaction and everything. Yeah, I mean I think he was going to lose either way. Tank was a big favorite to win that fight. I'm not some boxing expert. I'm not going to pretend I am, but I felt like Tank was winning the fight anyways. But I know that they're talking about some rehydration thing, and they might do a rematch or something. I don't know. I've been reading about that. So, but yeah, it was a nasty knockout for sure. Just kind of a weird stoppage a little bit. All right, a couple comments here. Ryzen. I haven't even looked. Okay, so it's not best fight odds. Let's take a look. I don't know a lot of these fighters. Johnny Case is fighting. He is fighting. Is there anyone we should take a look for, Andrew? I don't watch a lot of Ryzen anymore. I usually just watch a New Year's event. Although I haven't did that in the last couple of years since being a dad and stuff. Got some other comments. Perry is a savage. In bare knuckle, he is. Do you guys think the UFC lost hope on Brady getting fished by Bilal? That's what I think. Because why else would they book this fight? Why else would they book it? Because he got pieced up by Bilal in that fight, and that was a surprise to a lot of people, including me. But yeah, I mean, Jack is a beast too. So if you lose those guys, he can still rebound. But I kind of feel like they're kind of giving JDM his chance to take his ranking, which is surprising for a young fighter, right? Because Brady's not that old. But I don't know, Marshall. I do think that JDM wins. Benoit said Denis. I have no clue. Guram. Ooh, I mean, anyone in the top 15 for me.
Guram is targeted against McDessie, but
Really?
Yeah, that's not done. It should
card?
be in Vancouver.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
sick. Guram wins that fight probably. Although it's a good fight. I mean, McDessie, great striker. Sugar Sean TKO's Trevonta. Probably not. He probably gets destroyed, to be honest. Although he's a good striker too. Sakai Usman. I mean, it makes sense. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? They can do that.
Thoughts on Nagano? I don't know. I mean, it's PFL, but I don't know. Maybe against Curtis Blades if they let him go the third fight. I don't know. I have no clue, man. They could do a super fight with Ryan Bader or something to sign with the PFL. Probably same for that pay-per-view card. I think he'll sign there. Maybe the heavyweight tournament next year. All right, let's get out of here, Marcel. I appreciate you guys tuning in again. As always, you guys can follow the podcast, MMAOBsburger.com. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about it, guys. I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. Marcel, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the fights. And we'll talk to you guys hopefully next Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern here on the podcast. Take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Peace.